Welcome, students, to Unit 11. Let's show you how you can use Desmos to solve quadratic equations. The first quadratic is x squared minus 2x minus 24. Now, you're going to like it when these things equal 0, because when they equal 0, all you have to do is look for where they cross the x-axis, because notice that's where y is 0. So -4 and +6 would be your choices when you're presented with an equation like this. Now, this question asks for the average rate of change for this quadratic. They changed the verb, or the word rather, to rate of change from the word slope, but it means the same thing. So they want to know how it changes from 2 to 4. So two ways you could go about doing this. You have the point when x is 2, y is -3. And when x is 4, y is -15. Knowing that rate of change means slope, you could just count down 12 and over 2 and type in what -12 divided by 2 becomes. You get a slope of -6. But you also might remember the slope formula, and you're always welcome to use that. So y2, -15, minus y1, -3, over, in the same order of the x's, 4 minus 2. And again, you get -6 for the average rate of change, or the slope, between those 2 points. Now, this one's a little bit different because notice this one doesn't equal 0. If you plug this in on the state testing calculator, exactly like you see it, it's going to say, yeah, I'm not sure what to do with that. There's only one variable. So if you remember what we do, we just set the left side of the equation with a little y equals, and then we set the right side of the equation with a y equals, and we're going to look and see where those two things cross or intersect. Now all we have to do is plug these in until we match those points. So the first one is 2 plus the square root of 7, and I get +4645. But the biggest number here, positive, is 0.646, not the same thing. Again, to save time, I'm just going to jump down here and put the negative in there. So I'm looking at the D choice. Notice now that the decimals match. Again, this is going to round it. The 7 will kick that up, but those are the same. Now, again, there's a second answer. There's another one here, but notice this is -2 plus 7. It also has a second answer of -2 minus radical 7. So you notice that's how you're going to get your second answer, and you know D is going to be your choice. Again, we're going to go through here. You become a little happy because it equals 0. So all you have to do is plug it in, and we're going to look for the 2 locations that it crosses the x-axis. So we'll go in here, and we'll do 5 minus the square root of 13. We want all of that divided by 2. And lo and behold, that's one of our answers. Now, if you remember on these choices, every single one of them had a plus minus. When you're solving a quadratic, you're always going to get, and they're called conjugate pairs. There's going to be a plus with the square root, and there's going to be a minus with the same square root. So it would make sense that 5 minus radical 13 would go with a 5 plus radical 13. But we'll just double check it, and we'll show you that, lo and behold, those are the same numbers. So you would choose A and D for that question. This is a graphing question. It wants to know x-intercepts and vertex for this. All you got to do is put in exactly what you see. X plus 4 and x plus 2. X-intercepts are the 2 locations it crosses the x-axis. where y is 0. So that's going to be -4 and -2, choice B. Vertex is the name for the place that it turns around at, its lowest point, or its minimum in this case, -3, -1. So that's where you can use Desmos. It finds both the vertex and the x-intercepts. This question didn't ask, but Desmos also finds the y-intercepts as well, if you're ever asked about that. Lastly, let's look at this. You may remember solving systems a few units ago with 2 lines. Now they're going to offer up solving systems where one or both of the choices will not be a line. So in this case, we have a line and a parabola. But remember, anything on this black line makes this equation true. Anything on this red curve or parabola makes this true. But where are the locations that make both of them true? Again, they're going to be where those two things intersect each other, where the red and the black intersect at -3, -1, and 4, 12. So with those tips, you should be able to get through Unit 11 pretty decently.